elemental presence. We're going to begin by just sitting and allowing just going to allow everything to be relaxed and present in this moment. Take a nice deep breath in, all the way up to the collarbone. Exhale. Side out. Inhale in. Exhale, side out. Feet grounded on the floor. Inhale in. Exhale. Side out. Just let me just double check everything is all good. Okay. Perfect. Sometimes I have microphone issues, so we're just going to start. Welcome to Elemental Presence. Welcome to the full moon guided imagery. Full moon in Libra tomorrow, or wherever you are at in the world. It's full moon starting today, whether it's your time or here in the United States. It'll be tomorrow on April the 12th. And so we talked about last time with the new moon about redefining the divine masculine, or really becoming, not redefining it as we're changing it, but we're connecting to the original in the purest form of the divine masculine, the true divine masculine. And we're seeing that for the collective here, that there's a lot of within this moon cycle, there's a lot of shedding of toxic masculinity paradigms. And we're talking about toxic masculinity within ourselves, toxic masculinity that we've seen that is coming out, that is outward, but it also means it's somewhere inward as well. Whether that's with the past lives, manifesting up, whether you're seeing that currently in your present life, maybe getting insights, from different parallel timelines that are going on, a very quantum perspective on that. But we're going to see how that is, what's kind of coming up within this next phase of this cycle. A lot of building up, things rising. What I'm gaining is insights, and is all of that's bubbling up. Now we get to see what we can do with that as it bubbles up. What are the effects, and moving into that, which is perfect for this next week of Easter, of coming into Easter. Passover, I believe, is today as well, or on Saturday, full moon, or Sunday, one of the two. But it's perfect because things are ramping up. Just like within the time of Yeshua, Jesus, things are rattling up. The religious regime at that time was getting very uncomfortable with Yeshua being present. Telling that I am the Son of the Divine. I am the Christed child of the Divine. Bringing in the Christ consciousness, which is actually part of our awakening. And that's why he came to this earth in incarnate form, was to bring forth into this realm, onto this earth, that in this time, the awakening of the Christ consciousness, and bringing that forth, that blueprint forth, so we can then rise up and really understand that that's the mission. The mission is to become like Christ, that Christ did. Not necessarily become like Jesus, like, the physical, but it's the spiritual of what Jesus represents, the Christedness, not the physical, because our physical bodies are going to die. Our physical bodies are going to die. That's part of the process. But our spiritual bodies, our etheric bodies, won't. They live on, right? So all that said, it's a perfect time. It's a perfect time of what's coming up, bubbling up. We get to crucify that. Once we crucify it, we now have it in its primordial essence. Once things come up, we crucify it, we burn it. Primordial. And then what happens? Once we have that primordial essence, we resurrect it up. And it becomes light. And it becomes something completely gold, new, the alchemy of it all. Right? Sitting here, O Divine, calling you in. Yeshua, Jesus the Christ, calling you in. Holy Spirit, Divine Mother, call in. Divine Father, Divine Masculine, calling in. All higher guides, call in. All of humanity's collective angels, highest angels of love and light, all of this, of all highest love and light, coming into this space. Use me as channel of the divine, getting myself out of the way, my ego, my physical self out of the way, and allow the spiritual of what is needed to come forth to the collective humanity, or to anyone who is watching, to come forth. Allow me to not use the vernacular of saying what to do, but it's the guidance that you are bringing forth, as we all have freedom of choice. May this be the highest, may what you channel through and what it's bringing forth through of the highest light and love and good, for the ascendant, for the transmutation, for the resurrection of our spiritual journey, just as it was as your Son, the Christed child, Yeshua, incarnate of the Christed, resurrected up. Shalom, shalom. Peace, peace. Namaste, namaste. I want to start with the Akashic. What we need for divine humanity right now, collective masculinity, redefining that, going into this Easter season, this Easter week, crucifixion and resurrection. What we see. Sacral chakra. Wonderful. Wars and battles. Remember, we're communicating with this about the divine toxic masculinity coming into the divine masculine and bringing forth the sacred feminine. Inspiration and wisdom. Wonderful. Cosmic lives and peace. And two more. So two more. That's what I'm getting. So. Elementals. Third eye chakra. So what we're sensing here, what I'm getting at, this is all divine, all right? All divine. We're having these major cosmic shifts, right? Bringing up a lot of stuff. It's unsettling. It's unsettling. It's bringing up these because of our wars and battles and our present lives, present times, this toxic masculinity of wars and battles. And what it is doing is it's affecting the sacral chakra, our sacredness, the sacredness of the divine masculine, the sacredness of the divine feminine, right? That's what it is all about here. Now, what our goal is to bring peace to that, right? Peace. Now, how do we get to this peace? Well, sacred feminine, bringing forth with the elements, connect with the elements. We have Mother Earth. Go outside, maybe. Connect with divine water, the deed, the clearing, the purification, the fire, the burning, the crucifying. We have air, the communication, the swift wind on our skin, the essence. And we have spirit, connecting with the ether, the spirit, the cosmic. Right. So we have earth, water, fire, wind, and the ether, connecting with spirit. You can also see too that this piece can also be used as a tool, connecting with spirit through meditation, heart-centering prayer. It's guidance, but it's totally your choice. Now, what we gain from this is we can also connect with our third eye chakra, our intuition. So it's that gut feeling. It's in more of the Christian traditions, we say it's the Holy Spirit telling us that it's that intuition, that gut feeling, that moral compass, as you speak it. This is all part of the third eye chakra intuition, where we're engaging our clairvoyance, our clairsentience, our claircognizance, and there's one more. All the clairs. All the clairs. All right. Combining this with the elements will bring forth inspiration and wisdom. This inspiration and wisdom allows us to become grounded in ourselves and who we are, bringing peace. All right, peace. It also says here, tune in with the infinite. Meditation. Tune in with the infinite. Meditation, heart-centering prayer, but also tuning in with the infinite is your choice. The infinite is all around. Consciousness is all around, the expansion of consciousness. God is all around. The divine is all around. We're all talking about the same thing, same word. Different words, just the same power. And tuning in through the elements, through meditation, heart-centering prayer, reading the Bible maybe, or reading a sacred text, or just being in presence will help in connecting with that intuitive part. All right? And that's what we're seeing within this. We brought up the unsettling, the cosmic, what we're seeing within our political realm right now, outwardly, especially within the United States, but also the world, is it's a complete mirror of what has happened cosmically between the Orions and the Pleiadians. And we can also see that it's reminding us of other things in the past that are needing to be resurfaced, and that's dealing with the toxic masculinity of the wars and battles, the fighting, anger, sort of the gentle and the patience, and it's affected our sacral, our sacredness, the sacral chakra, the sacredness, the water. But now we're able to, within this next part, really be able to tune in with the elements. And once we do that within this cycle, within this season, especially with this Easter, it's going to bring inspiration and wisdom more to ourselves, more to us connecting with the divine and bringing us innermost peace. Because it's brought up, we crucify it, we resurrect it. The resurrection is this inspiration and wisdom which will bring us peace. Right. Now, to this point, I would like to just get a little bit of what elements we begin to see here. This is the elemental tarot, asking for guidance of what we're seeing here. Just gotta look at energy, right? Just gotta feel right here. Mountain, 8 of Earth. Tai Yue Tati, Chinese Emperor of the Eastern Peak. And it came up in the inverse. Here's what it looks like. But it came up in the inverse. We're talking about Earth. Mountain. I'm getting at is be strong like a mountain. Groundedness, connect with the earth. Connecting with the earth, becoming grounded. And the inverse, what that sensing right for me right now is with whenever it comes in the inverse, we're not right now within this time. The collective it's unstabilizing right now. It's destabilizing. Become restabilized. These three actually were kind of wanting to come out. Fate, change. I am control and the uncontrollable. Do not be ignorant of me. Be on your guard. And it came up in the inverse. Here's it in the. Here's it within the upright, but it came in the inverse. Spirit talking here. So balance. Change. Understand change. Father of Earth, the angel of winter. Satarari, the angel of winter. Father of Earth. Getting a lot of Earth cards here. So really talking about being grounded. Father, masculine. True divine masculine is being grounded. Daughter of fire. The moon in Armatus, the moon in summer. Daughter of fire. Feminine. And it came up in the upright. So what we're seeing here is unsettling and grounding. Not wanting anything to change, really. Unsettling of all these things coming up. What we have to become is the mountain. We have to embrace the change The true divine masculine is really going to be connecting with the groundedness, the firm foundation. The daughter of fire is going to help us go forth into the next pathway, into the doorway, going from old paradigms to new paradigms. So we're going to connect these images that you see, not feeling grounded, not wanting to embrace change, within this cycle so far. But what we're seeing with the other information from the Akashic, divine masculine, it's gonna really connect us. This transforming that is gonna bring us to connection with the divine, more stable in our foundation with ourselves, the divine within. And the daughter of fire is gonna help us with that, the divine feminine. The fire is going to help us burn away the old, burn away this unsettling, and bring us into the new doorway with the key to move forth, with the map, the pathway to move forward, right? With the true essence of the divine masculine. All right, so spiral, Spiral Oracle, really helping connect. And I'll edit the description so we can add the decks that I'm using here. But what we're, with the spiral, this will just help us really connect with that sacred feminine. Fibonacci. Energy of the Andes, the crystalline grid. Roots and ascending channel, divine feminine. All right. So what we're getting here with the Fibonacci, surrender. See, hands open, surrender all the way into the heart, going down, all the way to the 0 point, that 0 point found in the lotus of life. And what we're seeing here is we need to surrender. We have to dissolve. Surrender. Fibonacci, dissolve. Surrender, dissolve what is coming up. Energy of the Andes, connect with the divine energy. Again, radiating out. It starts from the inside and goes out. Right. Dissolve, connect. Take that primordial essence that we dissolved, rooting it up through the sacred feminine, up. Seeing that the true divine masculine in its essence, the true, bringing that flow of energy, sacred feminine, and combining them together right at the high heart, all the way up. Roots and ascending channel. Let me actually so the Fibonacci, let me just read, because they have a nice little poem usually. I remember who I am, who we are, and step by step I move forward along my path. Adopt the pace of nature. Her secret is patience. Be patient with it. Dissolve. The energy of the Andes. I remember what I have forgotten. The ancient knowledge is renewed in me. I am the earth itself, and I activate this wisdom in every cell of my body, activating the true divine masculine within. knowing the true sacred feminine, as well as coming forth. Roots and ascending channel. What does it mean to be the architect of my life? I connect with my story and with those decisions that made love grow. Today I choose wisely. I allow myself to play, laugh, and wonder. I am my greatest guide. I built walls around myself as a result of my past wounds. Today, these wounds have become scars that remind me of the importance of choosing to walk a path with heart. Now I know what is important, for every dark corner I transcend in the long run brings me only one simple message, which is love. Love from the divine. Past wounds, we're rising it up, we're transmuting it up. All right. Okay. I think we're going to just do one more. That's really all that I think really the message is pretty clear here. I'm going to use the Osset oracle, using the original name of Isis, the Egyptian Nephoros. Some essential oil on this deck. In the book, whenever I was reading the introduction, really connect with the cards. They said you really use some, like frankincense infused or some really good ancient essential oils, because that really helps connect. And this one I'm using Face Love, which has frankincense in it, and different ones that are really, just a divine essence, really. So bringing forth, really calling forth the divine feminine set. What is being called for us to do, the collective, within this next phase of the cycle before the next moon cycle. So back, rest and endings. We have to put to death the old stuff. We have to. Syrian star blessings. Getting blessings from the cosmos, from the divine, that this is the work that needs to be done. Sesheta, creating and writing. Once that is put to death, we can use that energy to create, the past to create something new and more divine, using our true essence of the divine masculine and incorporating the true divine feminine within, using that for creating. Let me read, though. So back, just so you have the awareness. Uncomfortable endings, and then bright new beginnings. You are in an ending cycle of life. Release what you no longer need and know that income sources might need to change. That's for income, but I mean just releasing and bringing in the change. The next is the Syrian star blessings. You will always be as brilliant as a star. Always. Oh wow, and they have like the 10 Commandments here. That's very cool. That just reminds me about the 10 Commandments thing. Interesting. Sasheta. Creating and writing. Your future is written in the stars, which we all know it's that blueprint that we chose for a greater purpose of your life. Abundance is falling upon you and collective. I hope this was very enjoyable for you. So before we conclude, I'd like for us to understand what we learned from here. All right. From the Humanities Collective, I hereby understand cosmically what's going on is bringing up a lot of stuff, specifically within the toxic masculinity of what people think is the masculine, but it really isn't. It's the tainting of the divine masculine due to wars and battles from the past and throughout history, previous lives, past lives, and it's tainting our our understanding of the sacredness with the sacral chakra. What we want is peace within ourselves, peace with the divine within, the peace of our divine masculine so it can fully alchemize. Guidance would be to connect with the elements. The 4 elements in alchemy, which is earth, fire, water, air. If you like to add the 5th element, connecting with spirit or the divine. Connect with that Holy Spirit, that moral compass, the divine compass that you have within yourself. That divine compass, moral compass, divine compass. Because once we do that with all that's going on, it'll bring inspiration and wisdom to us, which will ultimately bring us peace. So understanding that with the wars and battles, I'm going to place the sacral chakra over that. We're going to bring by connecting with the elements. I'm going to put that over. Connecting with our intuition, putting that over the sacral. And bringing in inspiration and wisdom from that will help heal what we need from that. And what our guides have also showed us through the elements is we're not grounded right now. We're resisting the change because all these unsettling feelings are coming up. We need to understand that the true divine masculine is really grounded, is really, really grounded. And as a loving presence, really connecting with that masculine within us, the divine masculine within us, and the daughter of fire, the prana energy within us, is the divine feminine is going to help us move through to the next phase, to the next chapter. We see that same within here with the Fibonacci, really surrendering, the palms opening up, connecting with that expanding consciousness of energy or the divine that's omnipotent and omnipresent, and using that disillusion into that primordial, whatever that was rising up, and we crucified it down. We use that primordial, alchemize it to where it's the true essence, and bring that up into our lives, really connecting with us alchemically within. And we see that in here, rest and endings of the toxic masculinity within this cycle. Knowing that we are the light. We are born of divine light. And that our guides and angels and the divine is always with us. Divine feminine is the creation, is the creating, the birthing. This is going to really help us. So that wraps up with that that Akashic record of what's going on within this second phase of the moon cycle. So I probably won't do one for Easter because that's very, very sacred, and I just don't want things to get distracted, by readings, and really just go within, deal with your own stuff. For the next moon cycle, there will be one, and then also for Earth Day, I'm probably going to do one as well, and also seeing on the full moon. So also just be aware too. I'll be posting the yoga routine for May, which will be doing some yin yoga as well, which will be the second part to that, is it blossoming forth into spring within May. So happy Easter to everyone, no matter whether that represents with you or resonates with you or not. But happy Easter. Love you all. Shalom, shalom. Peace, peace. Namaste. Namaste.